so excited you're here today because I will be talking about all the books I read in March. This video might be a little bit longer than my usual wrap up because I did not get a chance to do a recent reads video this month, but I did do a lot of vlogs, so hopefully that will make it go a little bit faster. I won't go into a bunch of detail about the books that I vlogged. Anyways, let's get right into it. As per usual, I read a ton in March, so yeah, grab a snack because this might be a little long. So starting off March, I did a dinosaur reading vlog and I had a bunch of fun reading some dinosaur books. I read them because my friend Andrew decided to make this dinosaur March, and he just had his dinosaur talk yesterday and I was in the chat. Unfortunately, I had to work, but it was a lot of fun. And Andrew's channel is It Came From The Page, and he will be linked in the description box down below if you like dinosaur books, if you like horror books, if you like paperbacks from hell. Definitely go check out his channel. And yeah, he's just really nice too. So I ended up reading Raptor Red, was the first book that I read in that vlog, and I ended up giving this one 4 stars. And then I ended up reading Project Reaper by Steve Metcalf. This is available on KU, and I actually had a lot of fun with this one. It's definitely pretty sci-fi heavy, but I gave it 4 stars as well. And then also on KU, Shock Horrors Trapped on Dinosaur Island by Dave Villinger. This is a middle grade dinosaur book, and again, I had fun with it, and I gave it 4 stars. And then I ended up reading The Lost World by Michael Crichton. This is the sequel to Jurassic Park. And yeah, I believe I gave this one 4 stars as well. 4 stars for all the dinosaur books. Not necessarily. And then I read Carnosaur by Harry Adam Knight. This actually was published way before Jurassic Park, and it kind of is the same thing as Jurassic Park, but it's definitely more pulpy, gory, lots of sex. The main character is horrible. I gave it 3 stars. I still had fun with it. And then I finished out that vlog by reading some dino smut, as one does. And I read Tyrannosaurus Sext by Lola Faust, and I gave this 2 stars. So at the beginning of the month, I ended up listening to The Writing Retreat by Julia Bardick. It's really blurry on my tracker. I listened to this one over on Scribd, and I also was in a little read along over on Bookstagram for it, but I read it way early, like everybody's now just talking about it. But anyways, I had fun with this one. I gave it 4 stars. I wish what was talked about in this book was actually executed in this book. That was like my only thing, and also they got some stuff wrong about LSD in this. Like, I'm an expert, you know, but yeah, I was like, that's not real, that doesn't happen like that. But overall the atmosphere was great. I thought it was really wild and violent, and I really liked it. This is about a woman who goes on a writing retreat that is basically she's being forced to write a book. And she's with a bunch of other people, and they're like reading each other's books and like judging it, or like that's not the right word, I guess critiquing each other's writings like every day, and then stuff takes a turn. So yeah, I did really like this one, and highly suggest it as like a winter setting thriller. And then I ended up reading Root Magic by Eden Royce. This is a middle grade book, and it is set in 1950s New Orleans area, and it is about like Gullah traditions and magic in it. So yeah, I had fun with this. There's a little ghost girl in this that was really creepy actually for middle grade, so it kept me intrigued. The story was very heartwarming and cute, but yeah, I gave it 4 stars. And the next book I ended up listening to from Libby is Burner Bodies Down by Rory Powers. I have the physical book, and I was just like, I just need to read it. I have the audio, let's do it. So this is a like going back to your hometown situation, but not because it's technically her mom's hometown, that a bunch of murders happened there, and like the town is just really weird. It kind of reminded me of Children of Corn, but all the bad stuff in Children of Corn, like it being boring. The main character in this, I get it, it's YA, but she was a lot. Like, she was very, very whiny the whole time, from beginning to end of this book. So I ended up giving it 2 stars. I did not enjoy this book. Like, at all. Maybe like the town stuff I did like, but the creepy town stuff and like family stuff. But yeah, overall I was like, this main character is driving me insane, and I remember why I will not be having kids. And then just some random KU books that I finished in March, or like towards the beginning of March. I did start these technically in February. These were the books that I read at night before bed on my Kindle. The Quiet Ones by Brandon Massey. This is like a thriller book about a sister who goes to about a woman to go find her sister at this creepy like plantation that's ran by this like horrible like racist dude. And yeah, this was so crazy because okay, so like he has like wives and stuff, and they're like quiet. Like the quiet ones are not allowed to talk, and he's like sexist and like misogynist and like just a horrible person. But there is a twist in this that nobody in their in the flippin' world I feel like would see coming. Like honestly, I was just like about to fall asleep and I got to the twist and I was like, what the heck is this? So just for the twist alone, I'm giving this 3 stars. I think, is it 3.5 stars? What did I even rate this? I don't know, but I just remember the twist being so crazy. And this is my first Brandon Massey book. Like, I have Dark Corners I need to read, that I've heard great things about Nana, but I was honestly like floored by this twist. It is so crazy and like out there. I was just like, okay, Brandon Massey, I see you. Yes, I did give it 3.5 stars, rounded up to 4 on Goodreads. Definitely worth reading for the twist alone. The story itself was kind of boring, but yeah, the twist, I was like, what the heck? Yeah, available on Kindle Unlimited. Then I ended up reading Fake Somebodies, Real Nobodies by E.C. Hansen. This is a short story collection, and you guys know I have a tough time with short story collections, but I actually read quite a few in March, so I was pretty happy with that. But it took me a while to get through this one because it's short story, so I'd read one or be stuck in the middle of one and like put it down. I did enjoy this. There's a couple in here that I enjoyed. I liked, like, there's one with like seagulls that I enjoyed. Overall, I gave it 3.5 stars as well and rounded up to 4. Before I get into another vlog that I did, I will talk about some more random books I read. I read The Rust Maidens by Gwendolyn Christie. This is available on Scribd to listen to, and I just listened to this because I wanted to do like a recommendation video about body horror, or women authors writing about body horror. So this is body horror book. I really like the beginning of this and I like the setup of it, but I feel like the execution just like fell short for me. This is about a town in the Rust Belt during the recession, I believe, and the girls are starting to like transform pretty much in this town, and it's like really popular, and like it like makes this town, I don't know, like have tourists again just to see the girls. Like your modern day freak show, right? So yeah, I ended up giving this one 3 stars just because the ending didn't work for me. But I ended up reading a book I've had on my shelves for a really long time, Salt Slow by Julia Armfeld. This is another short story collection, but this is so heavy with body horror in this, and like feminist themes. I almost said trends. You know, that trend. I was so into it. I freaking love this short story collection. I love the actual story at the end. There's some great ones in this one. Every story I would say falls between like a 4-star or a 5-star for me. So highly suggest checking this one out. It is available to listen to on Scribd, and I really liked the narration in it. So very, very weird. I know I bought this like 4 years ago because it's like freaking crazy, and I gave it 5 stars. And then I ended up listening to When the Wind Blows by John Saul. I actually DNF'd another John Saul book. I DNF'd The Unwanted. It was so boring. Oh my gosh, I started listening to that one. A lot of John Saul audiobooks are available on Scribd. And yeah, it was before I got like my renewal or something on it, and I was like, I guess I'll listen to this while I do stuff. And yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think I'm sitting around a 2-star for this one just because it was really boring and repetitive, and there was some problematic stuff with it. But anyways, it's about a woman who is like takes in this child, but she's crazy. She's like acting like she's actual baby, but she's 11 years old. She's traumatizing this poor kid by treating her like a baby, and like her mother is living with her, and she's like, you need to like calm down. Nobody understands her, da da da. And then your stuff is revealed, and there's like stuff in the cave. So there's like hints at supernatural stuff in this, but it's never like really fully explained, or like it doesn't go there. So yeah, 2 stars, and I also DNF'd another one, but I ended up liking another John Saul. So okay, so the next reading vlog I ended up doing was a reading new horror arcs. I knocked out some of my arcs on NetGalley, and also an arc that was sent to me from the author. So this one's Gonna Hurt by Cody J. Thompson. This is a slasher that takes place in the desert, and I really liked it. It is a cannibal story, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's pretty short, and I gave it 5 stars. The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Call, I gave 3 stars. The Trees Grew Because I Bled There, collected short stories by Eric LaRocca, another short story collection that I read this month, and I gave it 4 stars. Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates, a winter setting thriller that I absolutely loved. I gave it 5 stars. It's my favorite Coates book. Yeah, I say it's this book, Dead of Winter, and then The Haunting of Ashburn House, and then like The Haunting of Lee Harker. But this, I think, is my only like 5-star Darcy. Like the other ones are just really high 4 stars for me. This was brutal. Total blood bath. Check it out when it comes out in June. It was a lot of fun. And then I read Infestation by William Meikle for Kelsey from Simon Slasher's book club pick for March, and this was a short little novella available on KU. It is like a monster attack book. It is like a giant bug. Yeah, as you can see from the cover, and I had fun with this, and I gave it 3 stars. Okay, so my week of weird books. If you guys don't know about the week of weird, it was a week-long readathon hosted by my friend Crystal from Fiber Artsy and Jason from Jason's Weird Reads, where we read weird books. I had a ton of fun with that readathon. I did some sprints, and like we just talked about weird books. The Discord was so much fun. But anyways, I ended up reading like 7 books, I think, for that vlog. I started out with Black Paradox by Junji Ito. This is a newer Junji Ito book, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was so weird and funny, and I gave it 5 stars. And I read The Willows by Algernon Blackwood. This is a novella, and it was available on Scribd, and this is what influenced T. Kingfisher, or it's like, yeah, very influenced by The Hollows, and I could totally see that. So I had a lot of fun with this one. I still like The Hollows more, but I gave it this one 4 stars. And then I ended up reading Mystery Walk by Robert Armin Cannon. Dog. This is a paperback from hell that is on my 23 and 23. Definitely really weird. I gave it 3.5 stars, rounding up to 4 on Goodreads. I read John Saul's Midnight Voices, and I gave this 3 stars. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about what I said in my Week of Weird blog about this, and yeah, I still stand by it. Yeah, this is exactly like Riley Singer's lock every door, but with supernatural stuff in it. So yeah, very weird. And then I read Gwen in Green by Hugh Zachary. This is a paperback from hell, as you can tell, and I had a lot of fun with this one, but it was a bit slow, and I just wanted a little bit more of Gwen, you know, getting stuff done, I guess. So I'm leaning towards like a 3.5 for this, or a 3-star. I haven't quite decided, or I just don't remember what I gave it. And then I read Roser Park by Wendy Darpamal. This is for Supernatural. This is available on KU. I had a lot of fun with this one. It does like a bit of a genre blend in it, I feel like. I feel like this leans more into a thriller, but I gave it 4 stars. And then I read Disembodied Psychic Murder by Robert W. Walker. This is another paperback from hell, Paycroft by 23 and 23. And this was also Kelly's From Hell book club pick for March. And I don't think Kelly enjoyed it quite as much as I did, because it is very much insane. It's very crazy. A lot of it is done through like psychic stuff is happening. But the cover does happen in the book, which I was like, yes, it was my favorite part, and I gave it 3.5 stars. And then I ended up reading The Strange Bird by Jeff Vandermeer, and I gave it 4 stars. And then The Murders of Molly Southborne by Tad Hobson. I gave this, I think I was leaning towards like a 4.5, but I did knock it down a bit because there's a bit of repetitiveness at the end of this, and I know it's like super short already, but I just didn't need it. But I loved the allegory done in this. I think it was really well executed sci-fi, short, brutal, great body horror in this book as well. So yeah, I'm still like debating between that 4-star and 4.5 star. And then I read one of my favorite books of the freaking year for that vlog, and that is The Cipher by Kathy Koja. If you watched my reading vlog, I like was obsessed with this book. I just kind of I don't want my whole personality to be this book, because that would be disturbing, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. So the writing is very pretentious, and it takes a second to get into, so reader beware, because it's a weird book. This book is about a hole that appears in a loft apartment, and the couple becomes like really weird about it. Let's just say that, to keep it simple. The writing's freaking gorgeous though in it, but it is very weird. And yeah, I gave it 5 stars. It's very nihilistic and grody and dark and dirty, and these people are pretty awful. So yeah, 5 stars. Okay, so getting into the last vlog of March, which I just ended. This vlog you guys voted for. It is supernatural horror themed vlog, and I kind of stretched this a bit with the last book, but anyways, so I ended up reading 12 Nights at Raptor House by J.W. Oker. This is available on Scribd, and I did not like this book. I think I'm giving this 1 star. Or I did give it 1 star. I don't know, I just coughed there. So the reason why I'm giving this 1 star is because it's very boring and it was predictable. And then there's some problematic humor in this that I did not like find funny at all. And it's also, this is a newer book, so what the heck, man, what are you doing? So yeah, did not start off the vlog great with this book, but I did end up really liking the second book I read was Whatever Remains of Us in the End by Brandon Baker. This is available on KU, and you guys might know Brandon Baker from Baker Reads over on TikTok, so lots of good recommendations over there, and I absolutely loved this book. My only thing with it is that I wanted a little bit more, but it is very short, and I get that. This is kind of like Green Room meets oh geez, like a supernatural element in the woods. Yeah, it's good. I gave it 4.5 stars. And then I ended up reading Malice House by Megan Shepherd, and I had so much fun with this book. This book is very different. It's like you think you're going to get one thing, but it turns into a whole other thing. It gets very weird. This would work for a week of weird for sure. So this is about a woman that goes back to her like her dad's house, who is a writer, and some stuff happens. It's like small town stuff, drama too in this. Other than the ending, the climax of this felt a bit choppy for me, so that's why I just took off like half a star, but I'll definitely round up on Goodreads to 5 stars. Same with whatever remains of us at the end, I'll definitely be rounding up because there's like way less reviews for that one. So this is a 5-star for me on Goodreads and a 5-star for me on Goodreads as well. And then I ended up reading Ask for ANdrea by Noelle W. Haley. This is a very dark supernatural thriller. This is told from the point of view of the ghost that the serial killer killed and like how they kind of help take him down. So I say kind of because like I kind of want a little bit more from that, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. Then I ended up reading an extreme horror supernatural book called Magick by Judith Sonnet. This was so much fun, so disgusting, so depraved, very, very gross, but a cool concept, and I liked the demons in this. I liked how they looked. They were freaking gross and doing horrible things, and I gave it 5 stars. And The Vessel by Adam Novell I ended up reading on KU, and I had a lot of fun with this one as well. I just wish there was less like dream scenes in it. I feel like this whole book was like a dream at the beginning and the middle. I really liked the end. The end saved this book for me, and I gave it 4 stars. Okay, I'm like out of breath after all of that. The last book I ended up reading in March was Wrong Place, Wrong Time. This is a sci-fi thriller. It is like time travel. It is a bit of a Groundhog's Day take on, I guess, a murder mystery, or like, well, not a murder mystery because she knows who did it, but she's going backwards and like has to figure out like what happened. So it starts with her son killing somebody, and then she's going backwards every day, and she's trying to figure this out. I really liked this. It was a bit too lovey-dovey for me though, honestly. You guys know I'm like, I'll take violence over love in books every day. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You like this guy, okay? But I did like the more psychological aspect of this, of the main character dissecting her family life for the past like 20 years or so, and like how she started her family life and her relationship with her father. I did really like that. So I think I'm leaning towards like a 3.5 or a 4-star for it. So there you guys have it. That was my March wrap up. It was a lot, and there will probably be a lot of books read in April as well. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you have any great horror book recommendations for me. I'm always looking for horror recs. Please leave them in the comments down below, and have a good day and bye!